right, I got it. I'm Brian, and this is my session at 20 foot. It was a win.
All right, we're here with Brian. We saw him at the beginning, introduce himself. We did some clips, and now we're going to give Brian a little interview. This will be something I want to do more on the channel, is introduce a lot of the skaters I skate with, have the pleasure to skate with. My progression's not enough to keep the channel going, but these guys crush it. So I got 3 questions for you. Are you ready?
Yes, sir. I think so.
All right, I'm going to hand you this. Here's the first question.
All righty.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I think so.
When people meet you, what do you think their first impression of you is? Here you go.
I think whenever I come around people, they look at me and they don't see somebody like me. I've recently started following Jesus. I've been following God, and it doesn't really coincide with what other people think that, I am. Because a lot of people have seen me at a really bad time, and they've seen me when, I was addicted to drugs and I was going through all these different perils and all this trouble was, falling on my head. And it seemed like, people liked me and were, a little bit more appreciative of me around that time. You know what I'm saying? But I come around now, and I think that people, something deeply seated inside of people, it makes them not like me in a way, or they look at me with some sort of like reluctance, and I don't understand it really. But I do know that God said that this would happen. He said that people would turn against you. He said that people would look at you and not understand, what you're going through. And I just think overall that like there's a lot of misunderstanding when it comes to the following Jesus thing. And a lot of people just don't get it. They just don't understand it. They don't get it. And it's as simple as aligning your will and opening a Bible.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Something as simple as skateboarding, right? So you're 20 years younger than me.
Yeah, I am 28 years old, man.
And I'm 48.
Yeah.
What keeps bringing you back here? Because you don't even live close to here anymore.
No, I don't.
You have to travel here.
Yeah, dude, I live 45 miles away from here.
What keeps bringing you here?
So I think that I keep coming back here because God he put me in a peril, or I put myself in a peril in this skate park, and I was addicted to drugs, and I had gotten a DUI. I was in the United States Army at the time. I got a DUI. I got into all this crazy trouble, and and the world was falling down on top of my head, but I was in this skate park, and I was being completely humiliated, dude. I was being humiliated. You know what I'm saying? I was living in this skate park. I was staying here awake all night, sleepless, on drugs, just like for 2 and 3 days straight, just like awake, you know? And going from that, wait, what's the question again?
Why do you keep coming back here?
Oh, okay, yeah. So I've spent a lot of time here doing evil. I spent a lot of time here in my pride, and I spent a lot of time here not following God, not paying attention to God, and not heeding his signs. Because the signs were everywhere. I was getting everything taken from me. Misfortune was falling upon my head. I was going through all different kinds of craziness. I wasn't happy. People were turning their backs on me. People were treating me very badly. And that was my first flow here at the skate park. Then God started to humiliate me. And then I learned that Jesus was always there for me. And then when I started to pay attention more to Jesus, when I started to pay attention to him more, he pulled me away from the skate park and isolated me from the skate park so that he can change me and turn me into something that's acceptable to go out and lead by example. You know, because I don't come here and drink in front of people and act crazy like I used to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying I'm perfect,
No,
but what I am
you're
saying is that I used to be an awful influence on people back in the day. I used to be an awful influence. But now when I come here, I can be a good influence. And I can't just be a good influence, I can be a teacher to somebody. I can teach somebody something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just tricks and stuff,
they
but
can
like
see the change.
Exactly. And a lot of people and you know when people see the change. You know when people see that you have changed because of the way that they act.
Yeah.
Because of the way that they act. And it's not necessarily going to be a good way all the time, Jesus tells us.
Yeah.
It's not going to be good.
Some will turn their backs on you. Others
Exactly.
will appreciate the change. And some people are just blind and they won't see the change.
Yeah, some people are indifferent,
Yeah.
which is still just as bad. It's still just as bad when you're indifferent to things like this. But not only will everybody, you know, like out there, your friends and your buddies and stuff turn against you, it's your own family that'll do it to you too. And I'm seeing this. My family has turned against me. And they haven't necessarily turned against me in a way that's just outright, like they've like cooed up against me, you know what I'm saying?
They've
like
down a little bit.
A little bit, you know what I'm saying? And you can start to see the true face, you know what I mean, of people, you know. But he brings me back because I can lead by example now. And I can come out here and I can actually skate and enjoy it without being high on drugs, dude. Is that not a miracle?
Yeah.
I can come out here and I can skate without being on drugs.
That's it.
And it's literally a miracle. I can draw pictures without being on drugs now. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Some people just don't get it. They're like, how is he doing this? How is he still able to do this? And he doesn't do drugs anymore.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So just a little bit of that, you
All
know.
right.
You know why I keep coming back. I love it here, man.
You do love it here.
I love it here, dude. I do like it a lot, man. I don't love the things that go down here, but I do love it here. And God shaped me here. That's why I have so much respect for this place.
I know, you know, things go down everywhere, but I feel like this park overall is a pretty good park.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude,
I feel like
sick.
the vibe's pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's a real, like, there's real people here that God's will is gonna use them
Yes.
to do a lot of things. You know what I'm
Agreed.
saying? It's gonna use them. You know what I mean?
Agreed.
And you can always tell when God sends you that one person that's talking about that one particular thing. You know what I'm saying? Like he sent me you. You know what I mean? You're my elder, man. You know what I'm saying? And I've been asking God for an elder.
Young elder.
Yeah,
Young
that's what I'm
elder.
saying. But no, God literally sent me. Like, I literally prayed over this. I said, God, where is my positive influence that's older than me? Where is the man that I can look up to and talk to about God? And the next day, you asked me to interview.
We gotta have fellowship. We fellowship
You
in
know
the
what I'm
skate park.
saying?
We fellowship about Christ. I think that's important. You know.
Very. Very. It's the importance.
It is.
It's
It is.
the importance. You know.
All right. And then today, you had a little session.
Yeah, dude. I
Filmed
skated.
it?
Yeah, kind of skated.
What was your favorite clip?
Dude, I think that the back tail on this thing was pretty cool. I wanted to take a big spin out of it for sure because I've done it in the past, but like, I don't know, this thing is kind of wonky. It's very like steep, you know what I'm saying? It's super steep, so like popping onto it is really hard, but the back tail to fakie was my favorite. And nobody else does it, and they're just like, what? Every time, so, you know. But times were good. I tried the front blunt over there, didn't work out. That's a crazy trick, but maybe I'll get it next time, you know. So it was a good day.
After you spend some time with people and they walk away, what do you want them to walk away with?
So if it's a person that God sent to me, which I'm learning that like you can't just cast your pearls amongst swines, and you can't just say things around people, you know, that God doesn't will you to say around them, you know. And I usually get the right person that comes around me, and God will tell me to speak to him, and he'll tell me to say something to him because, you know, he'll just give it to me and be like, say something to him. tell them something, especially if it's somebody younger than me that's asking to hit my vape or something, or somebody that's younger than me that's coming up talking about this and talking about that. I try to squeeze in, you know, what God has done for me, you know, and how he's literally saved my life 2 times, 3 times. I've come so close to death so many times, and like I try to tell people that like God is actually real. Jesus is real. He's very real. And I hope that they leave understanding that there's powers and forces that they don't understand that are all around them. And Jesus tells us. He tells us that they're there. He tells us, you know what I mean? And he gives us a weapon against it. And I try to tell people, you know, that like the reason why I've changed so much and the reason why I act the way I act, you know, is because it's God's will that I do it. And it's God's will that I've changed and that I don't do evil anymore or do things that the world esteems as correct and not, you know, correct in the eyes of God. And I just try to let them, you know, basically just know that Jesus is real. That's, you know, and his work is being done.
The
you know,
evidence points to it.
Yeah, it surely does. Yep. It surely does.
All right. What's your Christmas wish?
My Christmas wish. My Christmas wish is for everybody to understand that Christmas has the word Christ inside of it. It has the name Christ in the very beginning of it, and everybody I feel knows deep down that it's Jesus' birthday. You know. And we should probably try to pay attention more to Jesus on his birthday as opposed to Santa, as opposed to Santa. You know what I'm saying?
It doesn't take away from it. You don't have to. You don't have to put away your stockings. You don't have to put away your tree. No, celebrate
you know
the birth of Christ.
Celebrate it, and thank Him, and thank Him that we could be merry on that day. And we could be happy, and we can eat together, and we can love each other, and we can, provide gifts for each other. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of people who have gone a lot of Christmases without anybody but Jesus. Jesus was there. Maybe they didn't know. But I've spent 4 Christmases all by myself in the barracks with nobody there with me. And those were really hard times. But now, it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter where I go. You know what I'm saying? I know that Jesus is with me.
Absolutely.
So, and Christmas is going to be wonderful because it's my first Christmas with Jesus consciously.
Awesome.
By my own will. So it's wonderful. It's good.
Absolutely.
It's going to be an awesome time.
I appreciate you skating.
Yeah, man. No, hey, thank
appreciate
you.
the session and the interview.
Yeah.
And we'll do it again.
Yes, sir.
Without the camera. We do this a lot without the camera.
Yeah.
But today we brought the spotlight.
Yeah,
and
showing up.
This is the first video filmed on the new camera, so let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right,
good.
Thanks.
Yeah. Thanks, man. I appreciate those questions and start